Hello all, welcome to our channel Aalam International School CBSE. Today we are going to see about nomenclature of carbon compounds. In our last video we have discussed about hydrocarbons and its classes. Next the continuation is that how to name the carbon compounds. Here we have some rules to follow. So first rule is we have to identify the name of that carbon chain with the help of prefix, suffix and nature of functional group. This is the first rule. Second rule, we have to identify the number of carbon atoms. For the given organic compound, we have to identify the number of carbon atoms. So next third, if functional group is given like alcohol group, aldehyde group, we have to represent a prefix or suffix. That will be your third rule. Next fourth rule will be suffix of functional group. The functional group have suffix. For alcohol, we have a suffix like OL, which is derived from that alcohol name. So like that, we have to solve that organic compound. Next fourth, we are having carbon chain which consists of vowels letter like A, E, I, O, U. We have to modify by deleting the letter E. Example is ethane. At last we are having E. If we delete that E and if add some functional group, it represents an organic compound. If delete that E letter, if we add OL, that organic compound is called ethanol. This is ethane. If you delete this letter by adding OL, we will get ethanol. So this rule is followed by like this. Next fifth. So if the carbon chain is unsaturated, already in previous class we have discussed about unsaturated. What are the unsaturated carbons? One is alkene group and another one is alkyne group. If the group name ends with ANE, that is saturated. So that saturated is replaced by unsaturated carbons, that is called ENE or YNE. ENE stands for double bond and YNE stands for triple bond. This one I have discussed earlier. So these are the 5 rules. Again I am telling, first we have to identify the basic carbon chain by modifying prefix suffix. Second, we have to identify the number of carbon atoms. Third, we have to identify the functional group with the help of prefix or suffix. Fourth, we have to remove the vowel letter like E, and if add any functional group, we will get the organic compound name. Next, fifth rule, we have to modify the saturated carbon to unsaturated with the help of ENE or YNE. These are the basic rules for naming the organic compounds. So next we have a tabulation. In this we consist of class of compounds, prefix and suffix with some examples. First class is haloalkane. So haloalkane, alkane is a saturated carbon. This one we have discussed earlier. So for this haloalkane class, we have a prefix called chloro, bromo, fluoro, we can consider. For this, we have written an example how to name it. Let's see. So here as I told, first we have to identify the carbon with the help of prefix. Next, number of carbon atoms. Here we are having 3 carbon atoms. If 3 carbon atoms present means the name is called prop. This one we discussed earlier in the classes of hydrocarbon. So prop. This example consists of a single bond. Single bond means ANE. So instead of H, we have modified here Cl. Cl is here prefix. Cl for chloro. So now name the compound propane and chloro. So this organic compound name it as chloropropane. Prop in the sense it consists of 3 carbon atoms. ANE is the suffix which consists of single bond and chloro is the prefix which is replaced instead of H. This is the first class of naming nomenclature. Next the second class, it is alcohol. Here we are having only suffix. So the suffix is OL. How this arrived means the end of this alcohol. From the alcohol we are getting suffix as OL. Again the example. Here we have written as 3 carbon plus 1 functional group. Here OH is the functional group. So 3 carbon in the sense name is prop. Here single bond ANE. So next rule here E is replaced by OL because this functional group represents alcohol group. Alcohol has a suffix called OL. So finally the name is propanol. Prop is a number of carbon atoms we are having 3. AN is a single bond. this OL is replaced as OH. That is called propanol. So second class is alcohol. Third class is aldehyde. This aldehyde has a suffix called Al. This is derived from the name itself, Al. So it has an example and a functional group. C3, prop, single bond, An. You can ask me a doubt. Here is double bond we are giving, but you have written as Ane. So in between the carbon atoms, if the bond has two, we can write it as an alkene group. But here the bond is between carbon and oxygen. So this is not as an alkene group. This is only called alkane group, Ane group only. That's why here we have written as An. This C double bond OH is a functional group of aldehyde. So this aldehyde has a suffix Al. So at last the E is replaced by Al. So finally the name is propanol. So propanol and propanol has a difference. OL is an alcohol group, Al is a aldehyde group. So clear. Next we are having ketone group. So ketone has a suffix called ONE, the last three letter, ketone. So here this is the functional group of ketone. C3 means prop. Here single bond. Single bond is between carbon chain only. So that's why we are written as An. Next is C double bond O is a functional group of ketone. So ketone has a suffix ONE. So at last the E is replaced by ONE. So finally the name is propanol. So again I am recalling, first class is haloalkane. It consists of prefix called chloro and bromo with some examples. Here I mentioned 3 carbon atoms. You can take it another example also, like 4 carbon also. So 3 carbon here written and the prefix is Cl. Cl in the sense chloro, single bond Ane. So chloropropane. Next alcohol, it has a suffix Ol. So then example is propanol. 3 carbon atoms, single bond and suffix. Next aldehyde, suffix as Al. 3 carbon atom, single bond An and the functional group is replaced as Al. Next ketone class, it has a suffix ONE. 3 carbon atom prop and single bond Ane. This functional group is ONE. So finally the name is propanol. Okay, after ketone we are having the next class of compound, that is called carboxylic acid. It consists of suffix called OIC. This is derived from the name itself. So suffix from the given class. So it consists of an example propanoic acid. How that name comes means we are having 3 carbon prop in single bond Ane. Next this functional group is, this is the functional group of carboxylic acid, thus named replaced as OIC. Here we will have one E letter. In the rules we have seen, we have to delete the E and add the necessary suffix. So that suffix is OIC. Finally the name is propanoic acid. So the COOH is the functional group of which one? Carboxylic acid. That functional group is modified by OIC suffix. This class consists of a suffix called OIC. So like this we have to name this structure. Next class is alkenes. This suffix is Ene. This alkene we have seen in the previous video of classes of hydrocarbon. So it consists of a suffix Ene. So it has an example. Ene means double bond. Now carefully look, C double bond C. If like this structure occurs only, we have to change. In between C, if you are having double bond, that will be considered. Not other element we should not consider. Only C and C, if you are having any bond, single or double bond, that should be mentioned. So here 3 carbon, which means prop. And here double bond. As I told earlier, Ene. Prop is a 4 carbon, Ene is a double bond. So we have to change the suffix. Ene is a primary suffix. Here no secondary suffix is there. So simple. This name is propane. So the structure is named as propane. 3 carbon atoms, double bond here, So the suffix will be ene. No any other functional group is there. So this structure is named as propene. Next, alkyne. This alkyne has a suffix yne. This also we have discussed earlier. Here C3 prop, and here this in between C and C we are having a triple bond. So if triple bond comes means what will be our suffix? Yne. In this prop, if we add yne, the name will be propyne. This structure is named as propyne. No any other secondary suffix is there. Only primary suffix is there. So this structure is named as propyne. So again I am recalling it. The next class is carboxylic acid. It consists of a suffix OIC. This structure has a functional group. COOH is the functional group of carboxylic acid. This should be modified as a secondary suffix called OIC. Prop is of 3 carbon, AN is a single bond, and OIC is a functional group is replaced by a secondary suffix. Next, alkene. Alkene has a suffix ene. This structure is named as propene. 3 carbon atom and the suffix is ene. Ene stands for double bond. Next one, alkyne. Alkyne has a suffix yne. This structure has 3 carbons, so prop, and in between carbon we are having 3 bonds, so yne. This structure is named as propyne. This one is homework for you. The first class we have seen haloalkane. I have given an example for chloropropane. You try it for bromopropane. This will be your homework. If you are having any doubt, please comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We will catch up in the next video. Thank you.